So now my oil is starting to heat up, and I actually turned it up a little bit, the setting right before high, just to, because I need to get started. I'm running late. But if you look at the oil, you can see how there's some striations in there, and that means it's starting to get hot. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my prepared chicken that I brined last night. This is it. This is the brined chicken. And today I'm just doing chicken tenders. So I'm going to take a piece of this. I'm going to put it in the, I'm putting this in the flour mixture. And what I'm going to do, this is the way I always do it, just get it coated. See, it's just coated with the flour. Then I'm going to lay it in there, and I'm going to wait. Now when that oil gets hot enough, that one piece of chicken is going to start cooking. And so you'll start seeing bubbles around it. I see just a couple right now, but that's really not enough. It has to really be kind of a little bit more, and I'll show you in a minute. But when it gets there, then you let it cook for just a minute, and then you can start adding other pieces of chicken. You can go over here and take your chicken, your prepared chicken. It's in the water, the salt water. That's what I brine mine in. It's just tap water. Put several teaspoons of salt. It keeps your chicken moist. So I'm just going to play around with this and, coat a few more of them while I'm standing here waiting, just for time's sake. So that's what I'm doing right now. And we're going to watch this chicken. I hear it over there, so I'm going to go back to it in just a minute, and I'm going to look at it again in just a minute. But see, I can save a little bit of time by, you're not worried about getting like a super lot of flour on there, because the flour is going to be crunchy. It's going to make the chicken crunchy. As you can see, I don't have any skin on my chicken, and you don't need any skin on your chicken, because if you cook it the right way, it's still going to be crunchy. So let's go back to the chicken and see what's happening over here. It's bubbling a little bit more. You can see it bubbling a little bit more. So let's just wait a minute and see if we can watch that process. Looks like I got about an inch of oil, maybe a little bit more. It's a deep fryer, so you can actually put even a little bit more oil if you want. I don't choose to do that, but so you see it bubbling. That means it's getting hot. It's starting to cook. And so in a minute, I'm going to turn this is where I have my dial on my stove right here, but that's too high to cook it on. I can't give you a temperature, but I know it's under 350. It's probably more like 340 or 330. I don't see how hot it is. I just look at what it does. So that's how I cook it. Okay, so you see it's starting to cook. So it's super important here. I just want to show you this process here. Sorry, I'm not such a great camera person, but with one hand, but let's just watch that chicken for a minute. And in the meantime, I'm going to walk over here and I'm going to get me a fork. Let me show you what it looks like when I turn it over. I need to go get a fork though. Oh goodness, there's the towel my neighbor gave me. Says I am the secret ingredient. She knows me better than I know myself. Really starting to cook now. I'm gonna look at it. It's not Right there, you can see like a little bit where it's cooking, but we just want to get it, so that it's a little bit, you want to look at that little part, because that's flour that's already cooking on there, and you want it to be a little bit more golden before you turn it over, because that's where the crust is. That's how you do the crust. So I've still got the heat on a little bit higher. The longer you cook the chicken, the more pans of chicken that you cook, what happens is the oil stays hot, and it stays hot, and it remains hotter, so that it can be a lower temperature. You don't have to have it higher. I'm just doing it higher. So now I'm going to turn it down to about right here. That's where I'm putting it right now. And there goes that microwave. So now you see it's really golden right now. And but that little piece that I showed you right there, that needs to be a little brown before you turn it. Not even brown, more like golden. Yeah, a little more golden before you turn it. Now we got some interference here because my husband has come in with ice, and the ice is loud. But you can still hear the chicken if you just watch it. It's starting to cook. I'm going to show you what this looks like now, because this is the secret right here. And if you don't believe me, read the title. Oh, it says I'm the secret ingredient. Okay. Alrighty. But this is the secret to cooking great chicken instead of just mediocre chicken. Now, as you can see, that little piece that I was showing you, that's getting to be more all around the whole piece of chicken. And this is just a thick chicken tender. That's the other thing. You don't want to cut your pieces too thin, because if you do, what's going to happen, they're going to be hard when you get through cooking them, and it just doesn't work. They need to be a little thick. I don't know if you can see that, but they're about 1.5 inches thick at least. Chunky kind of, you don't want them like real thin pieces. So, starting to get there. Okay, we're going to wait just a minute. Starting to get there, and I'm not, if you notice, I'm not adding any more chicken until I get this one where it's getting brown enough. And just because for purposes of showing you today. And I'm going to try to roll it over. Okay, there you go. So I got it rolled over. You can see it's a little bit brown there. Now it's a little bit more brown because I had it on high. So that you don't want to keep it on high. I turned it down more to medium. So now I'm going to start adding the other pieces of chicken. And you notice they go down like you can't see them, but they're going to rise back up when they start cooking. Look at this baby, man. That's big. That's a big tender there. I got all sizes, you know. I've got grandkids, so they like different sizes of chicken. So, they love Mimi's fried chicken, for sure. It's something you can sink your teeth into. Okay, let's watch that chicken. And that other chicken that I put in, when it starts to get that golden part on it that I was showing you, it will also rise to the top. It's going to rise in a little while. I'm not worried about it. I'm just trying to get a couple more pieces in there because I have 2 whole bowls of chicken, and that's a large bowl there. So 2 whole bowls of chicken. And as you can see, this is a messy job here. This is It's messy, but it's good, so it's worth it. I'm gonna throw that one in there, and then I'm gonna check on our original piece. Now, this is something for me to tell you. So the original piece, when I turned it over, now it's sticking to the bottom just a little bit. Super important. Use this fork. Use a fork. You don't need a spatula. You don't want a spatula because you're going to tear your chicken up. You don't want to tear your crust up. So I'm just kind of getting that to come up just a little bit. Just a little bit. And then I'm going to turn it back over so you can see the other side again after we turned it. See? Can you see that side is starting to cook? Okay. All right, now I'm going to turn it off, and I'll turn it back on when it starts to brown more because we won't be able to send this via text.